Worthy successor. At a time in the hills of Assam, there was a very famous temple. Now, the priest of the temple, he was greatly respected, but at the same time, he was also growing old. And somewhere he started feeling his death is coming near. And he decided that it's time to elect a new priest. He had to find someone, a very suitable person, a perfect priest for the temple. So the hunt started. So the question which kept on coming in his mind was, when will my search for the most suitable successor be over? This was the question he kept on thinking. As the old priest's condition was deteriorating, he called for the caretaker of the temple, Gopan, and he said that hardly days are left for me. So I am entrusting you with the work. You are going to find out the most apt person, the most perfect successor of this temple. The only condition is that he should be a humane, a person with a golden heart. Saying this, the holy man breathed his last. In the evening, what happened? Oh, our beloved priest is no more. The need for a new priest is urgent now. I must call all the hopeful men to attend the interview at the temple. This was a decision made by Gopal. Many hopeful men were climbing the steep hill to reach for the interview on time. They were quite punctual, so they wanted to come on time. And Gopan was seeing, he was standing at the topmost of the hill, and he was seeing the view that how people are climbing the steep and dangerous hill. So he was questioning himself that out of all these, how do I select the perfect one? Because there are many. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll test their knowledge of the holy books. I could ask them to read the verses. Let me see how fluently they could chant the verses. That also could be one way of finding out. But definitely there is some message in that instruction given by the wise old priest that only select a humane person. Now, how am I going to find out that humane person out of all these? Each young man was better than the other, and they all were reading the verses so well. And Gopan was such a kind-hearted person himself that when he saw that the young men climbed the temple and climbed the steep hill and reached the temple, he offered them food and water. That was really very thoughtful of Gopan himself. So definitely his eyes were searching for that one humane out of all these. Now let us see, does he become successful or not? Search was on as they were eating, as they were reading, as they were walking around. He was observing all of them. And then suddenly he saw that one person, a very tired young man, was limping and coming. With difficulty, he was walking because his feet was bruised from knee. The blood was coming, and his clothes were torn and soiled. So he was concerned. Gopan was concerned, and he asked him, "What happened? Are you all right? Were you attacked by someone? Did you lose your weight? Did what happened to you in between? Have you come for the interview?" So that young man knew that he was not dressed up for the interview, but very confidently, with a nice smile, he said, "Yes, I'm for the interview, but you know what happened when I was climbing? I saw that on the path there were a lot of stones, there were a lot of thorns which would prick the people who would be climbing and coming all the way, right? So what I did was I just cleared the path for them so that they could come here, taking Lord's name, they could climb smoothly. They could just have that one focus and climb. So because when you're chanting and something pricks, then then that becomes a distraction. So to avoid all that, I have cleared all the paths. So in that process, this is my condition." And then Gopan realized, okay, this is what the wise man wanted. So he is the right person, a humane person who not only thought about himself, he kept himself last and thought about others' comfort. So this is what I am searching for. So Gopan was very happy. Gopan found his candidate. He announced it. He declared it then and there. So the villagers over there, the young hopeful men who had climbed all the way, they were like shocked. Why? How come this one can be selected? he came late and he's not presentable also for the interview. So they raised a question, what do you mean? Why do you choose this young man who was late for the interview? So that is quite basic and quite natural for them to think like that. Give an explanation because they deserved to know the answer. Why was he selected? So he said, today all of you climbed the same dangerous path to get here on time. But only among all, only this young man thought about his fellow beings. He thought about the coming pilgrims who would be coming, about them. So he did this so that they could come easily. Y'all could, go down easily. He did all this for y'all, not for himself. So as a result, I feel this is the perfect successor. Men were actually good because they all agreed, they understood, and they said, yes, he is right. Nobody went to fight with Gopan. They all understood the situation and they felt that, yes, that is the true justice. So they all agree and unitedly they say he deserves to be the one. So finally, they got a perfect successor. Children, there should be a gratitude. You should be grateful to people who have helped you, to the Lord, to the guidance which came on time. So finally he also sat and he just offered his gratitude. Thank you, wise one. I would never have known better if not for your words of wisdom. All these fine young men would have made perfect priests, but only one, a truly good humane person, could have been your worthy successor. So, from the story, what you have to take away is that you should have a golden heart. You should be a human being first. Since you are all divine children, you should show the divine qualities too. You should think about others too, because in this world, we live with others, right? We have to sacrifice so that each one of us have place. Even if you look around, every each one of us, even be it the nature also, they've all sacrificed. Then only that combination has made us go this long, right? So this should continue and it should be done without any selfish motive, without any selfish intention. Lovingly, peacefully, you should live and let live for others also. Make this world a beautiful place, and it's in your hands. You all could do it, children.